Let's start off this episode by addressing that this is the start of Rise of the Snakes Wave 1. I hope that was in frame at least. This all right here is the first set in that Wave 1 of Rise of the Snakes. From this point on, every set of Rise of the Snakes I have owned, and Season 3? Something. Technically in the show it's still Season 1 until Season 3 of the sets. Let's just disassemble it and talk about it, and hopefully this will be a really short episode for you. Bite-size almost. Starting off the season of Rise of the Snakes Wave 1, this is set number 9440, aka Venomari Shrine. Consisting of 86 pieces, this set was originally released for $6.99 in 2011, consisting of one singular minifigure, Zayn, in his ZX form. And with that, everything is separated out, leaving just this to be shown off. Yeah, so this is the start of, well, like I said, Rise of the Snakes, but this also is the start of the different ninja forms. This is the ZX uniform for Zayn. Now, from here on out, there's going to be a little bit more significant differences in the attire for Zayn, Cole, Jay, and Kai, and then introducing a whole bunch of other characters that are later to come, and enemies, and heroes, and just everything in between, I guess. But yeah, this one is a pretty good way to start it off, because it gets you in the mix of everything. It shows off the start of new uniforms, I guess, with also starting with a smaller set to introduce the whole new idea of what is going on behind the scenes in the actual show. So before I get into that, let me just shut up and start building and talk it through that way. And we start off by building with this first, and this one I know is going to be a tad awkward to try and build because everything kind of points in one direction. So hopefully I'll be able to try and keep everything facing toward you and the camera, but just know that if I ever have to turn it around, it's because I can't quite see where I'm putting one piece after another. So I'm doing the best I possibly can. To start off this episode, I should probably say, when was this recorded? Everyone is now addressing all of their Me Too movement stuff now. Yeah, so in the last episode I addressed the BLM movement after a week, and we've seen how that progressed, unfortunately, so I won't say my piece just yet until that episode comes out in a few weeks. It aged the way that I thought it would, of course, but that's all I'm going to be saying. I guess it's Me Too stuff. I mean, it's in the same realm as all of that was when it first came about, with all the celebrities and everything, but it's mostly been hitting people with YouTube channels and Twitch channels and video making and live streaming. It's kind of a show of people's true character and how they respond to hearing all of this stuff, and the people that they look up to, and how the people that should be held accountable have been getting away with some of the stuff. As of recording this, the day prior to me recording this video, offline TV consisting of what was Scara, Pokimane, Fedmeister, Lily Pichu, and Michael Reeves, with a team of Yvonne, and Disguised Toast as part of offline TV. They said their farewell to Fedmeister, or Fed as they would call him, as that was his nickname. He had been showing behavior that was unacceptable, and unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately, it's an awkward position to be in for someone to experience something like that. He was not conducting himself in a manner that someone should and they finally addressed it, and it never fixed itself. And that was supposedly going on for years. As hard as it is probably for them to swallow, it's going to be even harder for them to come back with everything. I have no idea what the whole experience was like when Lily found out that her boyfriend had cheated on her, to which she now has her new boyfriend of Michael Reeves, which is a budding romance in itself. But I don't know how everybody felt about that. It's pretty divided as of right now with Fed. People are backing Fed a lot of the time as well. It's just... I'm not going to be all high and mighty and say, oh yeah, the signs were there, but there were certain things in how he would address certain topics and how he just would approach situations with women. Before I get going even further, one thing that I should address with these pieces right here, if you look closely, and I hope that the light isn't really on them all that much, I'll try and keep rotating them so you can get them out of the light. There's little brick details on one side, and then on the other side, it's just like little paneling, I guess you could say. For this set, it recommends putting the brick look on the outside, and personally, I prefer it too. In comparison to going back to the topic, and I know that I'm not going to have enough time before I finish this set. In comparison, one big person for the YouTube scene was Miniled or Craig Thompson, to talk to the person in particular. Yep, he solicited nude photos from an underage person, but people seem to back him by saying, oh yeah, he was 19 in Dubai, when in fact he was 21. And his ex-girlfriend even addressed that this had been mentioned between the two of them. I don't really know. I didn't really care to hear about it because, in all honesty, those signs were there. And when I had heard that the two of them had broken up, I fully believe I understood the reason why. If you ever knew what his videos were like, and when the whole thing of him and Brian or Terrorizer, or what was the gaming Terrorizer, but which is now just Terrorizer, when their whole feud or fiasco or whatever came about, if you listen to him, it sounded like he was the victim, but with everybody telling their own stories, he completely omitted Brian from doing a harmless joke that, in retrospect, probably wasn't that funny, but it wasn't ever addressed to him in person. He was just left out of a huge dinner with all the friends. That's very, very, very childish if you look at it. And in a couple of his videos while he was dating Sunny, I know that her Twitch channel is known as Sunny Day, Sunidey. She herself addressed the situation with the photos and said that she was never raped, and that was just being thrown about willy-nilly out of nowhere. But if you were listening to any of his videos at the time while he was in a relationship with her, a lot of it at the time even threw me off of how he would talk about women in general. I kind of saw the whole breakup coming just because it sounded like he didn't even respect her as a person. That, again, just comes up to maturity. The best course of action that I could say for this individual, along with Fedmeister, who I both actually really enjoy their stuff, the best thing that I could say is this time away right now is the best thing for you. You need to walk away. You should not have a channel filled with what is mainly people younger than you being persuaded, and you having this ego of superiority above these people, being able to just walk away from it and learn and grow up. That is the best course of action right now, is to grow up. That is the best thing for both of them right now. In other news, another thing that's recently come about was the Twitch streamer that I really don't care to watch. Dr. Disrespect was permanently, permanently banned from Twitch. There hasn't been a reason why. And before I continue off and probably finish this set, I want to show this little thing off. If you look at these little tubes, there's like little air bubbles that I really like the touch of. Like, it shows that it's supposed to be like a liquid, which as soon as I finish off these pieces, it will make full total sense as to why it looks like a liquid with bubbles running through it. So it's not like a pure viscous, not viscous, this is viscous. What's the opposite of viscous? It's not like water where it's all one thing. Even though the water can pass through, I don't know, or bubbles can pass through running water. I don't know. I just like it. We're nearly finished with this set. Cool little detailed piece right at the top. You don't have to put any stickers on. I am nearing the end, and I'll just explain more about these pieces. The next piece is going to be the snake staff of control for the general of the snakes, which will have to come later. In the instructions, it says to go one way, but I'm pretty sure on the book, yeah. Okay, so hopefully the light will catch it. In the instruction booklet, it says to have it like this, where the droplet is like basically pointing toward me, and like the dripping ooze is also facing toward me. But on the actual decal of the, god damn it, my finger keeps sticking to it, on the cover of the book, the vial, because I'll say that because that's actually what it is, or maybe something else in the future I'm remembering, is supposed to be dripping like this. So this is the way that I'll put it on, obviously because of gravity and everything. Close enough. But yeah, this is supposed to be held by the Snake General. It's supposed to contain not really special powers, actually, because the snakes themselves have the powers that this is supposed to bestow. I'd have to actually go back and watch the show if I ever wanted to explain anything from here on out. And the last two pieces are just two little green snakes that are technically weapons, because if you look back here, there's little grip handles for people to use, mostly the snakes, but ninjas can grab onto them and throw them back. But they go here, like so, and that is the complete full set. Yeah, a tiny little one just to get us off. Bring back out Zayn, ZX. One other thing that I should probably address. They changed up the way that these swords and weapons can go in these suits. Now you can have two swords go in the back, but they go in like that. So kind of like an actual holster would. Not holster wood, but holster wood. Listen, I'm just trying to fill up time, okay? Just cut me some slack. Beyond Zayn trying to steal the Venomari staff, which I think is only really available in this set, which is kind of cool. It's unique to its own thing, but there aren't any Venomari snakes in this set. But the play function, beyond him trying to steal it, is this. Have a nice day.